Hello and welcome to Leashed Dad's podcast. That is the host, Justin.
And that's my amazing co-host, Joed.
We are two leashed fathers that get together to discuss our everyday lives while chained to our parental responsibilities. And tonight we're winging it due to our creative blocks. Nothing has really struck us recently that say, oh, hey, we should do an episode about that. No, not tonight.
Not tonight.
I guess we can do an update.
Hey, whatever. Yeah, you sound like you're down a little bit there. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, you know, and I think I brought this up around the same time of year. You know, throughout the year you go through patterns, right? And I'm back in the phase where I don't really give a shit anymore. And to the fact where I haven't even had any inspiration to do any videos for unlocking jar potential. It's just, I don't have enough traction to want to continue, nor do I like what I see on the platforms like TikTok and YouTube, even Facebook. So I'm thinking I should either stay away from it or like be clear as to why I'm not really concerned about growing the channel per se, because I was really just overwhelmed with trying to make it grow and it doesn't do anything. So I'll just leave it out there, and when I have an inspiration to do something, a video on when I don't have a cold, which also helps, I'll just release it. I'm not going to sit here and unalive myself because I need to do 2 videos a week or a short every day just to get a stupid audience. And again, my audience, you're not stupid, but let's just say, okay, so right now...
It's a frustration thing, folks.
It's frustration. And even with this channel, some days it's like, you know what? We don't have the audience that we were hoping to in year 2. What's the point of going forward? And so, but besides that, so if we have 17 subscribers in our channel, right? I know of like 3 of the channels that I can control or ask another person to watch a video of ours. But we don't have consistently 17 views on YouTube. So on the other side of this, I have around 85 subscribers, and yet I have a video that barely cracks 2 views. And with full transparency, those 2 views are myself and maybe Justin. That's It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. It's disheartening. I don't know. I rather have my time and my energy focused on creating the future that I want, and obviously YouTube and Facebook and other social media. I don't have the face to gain traction. I don't have that edge, the bodybuilder, manly shit. I don't have that. In what I'm trying to build a community on is very niche. I mean, even what we do is niche. You don't see a lot of celebration about hard-working, family-loving dads talking about their everyday life. You don't see that. At least I don't see that.
I mean, there have been
But
some
am I
podcasts that
looking
I've been
for it?
looking into.
No, I guess. What?
So I did say, and kind of underneath you a little bit, but I was recently trying to find some inspiration as well, or ideas here, right? Um, and I started looking or listening to some other podcasts out there, like that are dealing with family podcasts, going into the segment of family. Um, and there's been some ideas, and honestly, some of them, truthfully, aren't even that long. But the problem is we only release our episodes on a weekly basis.
That's all we have time for.
Yeah, that's all we have time for, right? That's what we have
Right.
time for. These people are releasing episodes, and they're not even long episodes, mind you. They're like 5 minutes on a daily basis. So, I mean, it's in comparison, it's what are you willing to put forth to drive, right? I don't know how successful they are necessarily when it comes to 5 minute episodes every day versus our 20 to 40 minute episodes a week, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And then
you
and
you
then on
have a
top of that,
good
we do
point.
release some TikTok content. But
Right, but that's taken from our videos.
true,
So if I had somebody on the side making shorts out of my videos, I mean, I'd be in a pretty good spot. But A, that takes money, and B, if I do it myself, that's just an extra. I have to figure it out first. So that's just an extra like 45 minutes minimum a day to figure that shit out. And
right?
it's also more time that I'm spending away from my family. And this is again where, men, women, any parent out there, you really should take a step back and say, how am I going to manage and dedicate my time? Am I going to manage and dedicate my time to a business I'm trying to start when my kids are at a prime age where they need my attention? And the mere, it may seem a bit extreme that I'm saying this, but pushing them away to do something for yourself can build resentment. Hell, I remember a ton of times my parents pushed me aside to do something for themselves. You can't tell me that, as a parent, you want to sacrifice disdain from your children just because of your future plans. They are only children for so long. I mean,
For so
you've got a
long.
good 15-year period where you really should be focusing your time on their development, knowledge, and getting them ready for the world.
Yeah.
And that's part of what I'm. That's part of my inspiration, and I probably should do a video on it. But again, why? But use your time. You have all the time in the world, right? So your kids are going to be needing you for about 15 to 16 years, right? So
Longer.
yeah, I mean, okay, minimum of like 15 years, minimum of 15 years. And you have some cases where, and again, to your point, I don't want to push my kids away when they're 18. I'm not going to be the parent that says, get the hell out of here, you're 18, go live your damn life. Absolutely not. No. Because if they're struggling and if they need help, and if the world is like it is right now and they can't even afford rent on a salary, they can stay with us. I don't care, because I know how hard it is.
Hmm.
I'm in it right now. I see the struggle with younger generations and trying to afford life. Am I going to pay for their way? No. Am I going to help them when they need it?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to basically pay for everything while they live with you. They should still
No.
have that job. They have that income. They
Yeah.
can work with it. But at the same time, that's going to be the opportunity for them to save some money so they can find a place that's affordable and reasonable for them. Uh, Maybe even create
Yeah.
a better budget than what they currently have. I'm not
Yeah.
not
And
saying they're going
and
to have a poor budget or anything, but that would be a
right.
good grounds or things. And I agree. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to help you out anymore once you're 18, you're out. There are conditions though
Oh yeah, they have to be
where,
working. They or in school.
yeah, it's work
Yep.
or school. If you're not doing either of those, honestly, it's like, why should we help you? It's,
Yeah.
well, I shouldn't say why. You know, we're your parents, but it's time for us to be less lenient. We've helped you develop the skills you need, and from there, it's time to exercise those needs, or I mean, those skills.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, to your point, Jared, keep going.
Okay. So, to reiterate my point, you have a certain amount of time with your kids at an age when they need you. You need to be a parent. And I actually, and guilt is a funny feeling. I don't like feeling guilty, but it's human nature to feel guilt when I push, not push physically, but metaphorically push my kids aside to do something for myself. Now, do I need to create a YouTube? Do I need to scold them to be quiet so I can do a video? No. So then I don't do a video because all they're doing is being a kid and being themselves. Just like today, and this is a whole. I need to stay off Facebook. I am starting to get really sick of it. But I saw these couple, and I don't know how the hell. I mean, I probably saw one or two videos on this guy. Like, I don't want to call him out or anything, but he's a bigger dude. He's got this big beard, and like most of him and his wife's videos are him getting trashed on some sort of liquor or White Claw or whatever, and like making obscene calorie meals or whatever. And so I kind of chuckled at it, ha ha ha, a couple times, and I watched videos. Now it's all I see in my video feed, of course. And one I saw today, I accidentally clicked on it. The the dude came home with a case of White Claws and like two pizzas, and his daughter in the background was legit happy to see him. And again, I don't know how much of this is true, but it's my perception what I just witnessed. He he snubbed his daughter and focused on the wife making the video. Meanwhile, opening the case of White Claws, still telling her to be quiet, and proceeds to talk about whatever the pizza is or whatever with this video he's making with his wife, and proceeds to shotgun a White Claw in front of his daughter while she's trying to get his attention and say, "Hi, Daddy, welcome home." And that just it triggered me. And again, triggers are triggers for a reason, because I wouldn't want that in my life, but to each their own, I guess. But how sick? I'm sorry. That is wrong, in my opinion.
It is. Yeah,
You do
it's.
not do that to your kids.
Have you ever have you ever thought some of it is just content? Like even the kid is on it though, like in on it.
A 4-year-old?
Where yeah, I was
Okay.
I was watching a TikTok. I was watching a TikTok, and it has, as much as this has passed, you know, a little over a week now. It was a video about this like 2-year-old or 3-year-old crying because her fan or her celebrity crush, no, I won't even call it celebrity crush, but her favorite idol, Taylor Swift, didn't vote for somebody. So this little girl was
Yeah.
crying
I mean,
because
I see your point.
that's what I'm saying. It's, is it
Yeah.
possible that the 4-year-old is in on the content, and it's not like a legit thing, but it's a trigger, right? It's how can we trigger people, or maybe this is something they're trying to create to make awareness or create awareness about what you shouldn't be doing, because maybe somewhere along the way they have an extra video saying don't do this, right? Or they're doing it to trigger people such as you, and they know
Maybe.
it triggers you.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe. I
the
don't know.
algorithms that I hate from like Facebook and
Oh, yeah.
TikTok and things
For
like
sure.
that. It's always the algorithms. Oh, yeah, Jared paid attention to this today, and well, he really stuck there watching this, even though probably he shouldn't, because we know he gets triggered by it. So he stuck and he stayed watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really I mean
that's
part of me does think it's just a trigger, but it's just like why would somebody want to do that to themselves? Like make an ass of themselves for views, profit. Like
because people profit kicks. I don't know, sick minds sometimes. Sick minds, I
yeah,
tell you.
but yeah, dedicate as much time as you can while you have it with your kids. Focus on building that relationship that you want with them. You being a dedicated parent, I'm sure you understand this already. But for those of you who feel a little bit disconnected from your kids, there's no better time to start reconnecting them with them. Now is the greatest time to do that with. So it's never too late, in my
No, I just
opinion.
had to.
I've seen some miraculous, like adult parent, adults finding their long lost parent and reconnecting. So
Mhm. And just earlier, I had one of my children. He was kind of like, oh, he had a moment where he started crying, uh, because he, well, his brothers have been picking on him, right? Um, and it's obvious that they're picking on him too. Um, but he wasn't listening, right? I told him to, I asked him to come to me. I just wanted to talk to him, so I tried to do it in a calm, sincere voice, like, "Hey, come here." He was giving me the attitude and saying no. I was like, "All right, come here." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, come here. This is not a, you know, this is no longer an option. This is me telling you to come here, demanding you come here." Took him a little bit. He still didn't come. And then eventually he came. He sat by me, and then he just kind of broke down. And I was, trying to figure out what it was. So he needed that. He really needed that connection. He needed to know that I was going to be there for him, not just as you were pointing out, having him, maybe have them come over to you and then just blow him off. He definitely needed to know that I was going to be open and willing to listen. So again, to Jared's point, make sure you guys are connecting, even if you feel like you're connected. Sometimes going that little extra mile to stay connected.
yeah,
That, I mean, that wasn't your point, but your point was to be connected with your
no,
children,
yeah, no, yeah,
because you
yeah.
never know what's
It's
going to
semi.
happen. But also always go maybe an extra mile to reassure your children that you are putting in the effort to stay connected with them as well, because there'll be that time when they become 18 or whatnot, and they may not need you right there and then, but down that road, when they're having a hardship, they know who to come to,
Yeah,
and you will feel
exactly.
that connection. So
Yeah,
I know we've talked about that too before. We have talked about that previously, but it's always good to reiterate it, bring it back out onto the table for you folks. As a parent, we share our stories, not just to share our stories, but to help you create a connection of what it means, or what it should mean to you to even consider creating connections. We're not saying you guys are bad parents. Never have, never will. We just want to share our stories so you can use them as examples, use them as evidence that connecting with your children works, or
yeah.
whatever you want to do can work.
Well said.
So take it with a grain of salt if you want. Take it however you want. Just remember, we're also evidence. That's another reason we do this, right? That's another reason we're doing what we do. We want to build that parenting community, knowing that you guys are out there, we're out here. If you need, some ears or another perspective, we may not be A plus parents or the
No.
parents that score high on quizzes all the time, but we're willing to work with you. We're willing to help you, just like we're willing to take help too. I'm
Yep.
good. I'm good with taking criticism as long as it's constructive and not just like,
Yeah,
hey,
as
you're a
long as
piece
it's
of shit,
constructive and not just a personal attack.
and go on alive yourself or whatever,
Yeah.
because that doesn't do us any good. That's just people lashing out in a sense for no reason. So you want to rise. It's not a very good rise though.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, if you got anything else, let us know. leashdads14@gmail.com. Hit us up on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I think it's been a while, but they're up there. Um, TikTok. We do drop some of the content or from the video here, or the recording here, onto TikTok as well. Uh, Make sure you watch Mr. Jared's Unlocking Job Potential. It's good for you. It's motivational, inspirational, whatever you're looking for at the time when he comes out with the content. Hit that bell, subscribe button, whatever you want to do on YouTube. You know where to find him at. You know where to find me at. We also have the Facebook group, Leashed Dads.
Yeah.
It's a profile more or
It's
less,
a
but
it's a abandoned page.
there's some
But yeah,
things
it's
there.
there.
It's been an abandoned page. I've been trying to bring it back a little bit here and there with some of the episodes recently. I was terrible and fell through like an idiot. But it's all about the time, the resources, and everything to
Yep.
manage it all. So if we can keep it running, I think we can do it. But I know it's year 2 for us here, and I think we're gonna just keep going. Might have to have we'll just keep going for now because we know this
Yep.
content can reach potential. So, folks, y'all have yourself a great day, great weekend, great whenever you listen to this episode. We'll see you all next time. Stay with the Leash Dads, stay chained to your everyday lives, and take care of your children and your spouse.
Yes.